Just turned it on.
You're on Facebook?
Live.
We're on Facebook.
We're on Facebook.
So anyway, in case you have any notes.
Excuse me.
Yes, yes.
We're live on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is the mayor there. This is Takes Radio. I just came in here, and Mr. Fromine said that I sounded like Takes Reader.
Blood on the saddle. Blood on the
I
saddle.
look like Takes Reader.
Well, yeah, but your voice is so melodic.
Who is Tex Ritter, by the way?
Well, he's an old country and western singer. Blood on the saddle.
John Ritter's dead.
What?
And I got to interview John Ritter before he died
Wow.
over at this stadium right here in town.
Holy smokes.
You remember he was the good-looking guy in Three's Company.
Yeah.
That was John Ritter.
Yep. When later on I got to meet what's her name, who played the little dumb blonde in this show.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
quite bright. Was the most successful financially out of all of them. She was only on the show for 9 months. She got booted off the show because she couldn't get along with the other girl on the show, and went on to write all these lose weight magazines and books. And
Yeah.
Well, so
now
Summers?
Suzanne
Summers?
Suzanne Summers. We're going to bring her. This is radio.
I didn't touch it.
Well, you need to touch it.
You told me
That's
never
what
to
she
touch your
said.
mic, and I take that.
She
literal.
said that's what she said when the bed broke.
That's what she said.
All right.
Oh,
so-
stop it. Right. Blood on the saddle, I called it.
Tex
Well,
Ritter.
Takes Ritter. This Takes Ritter. We're done taking over the station. Oh, that's what I forgot. Mary doesn't like it when I do that accent.
Who's Mary?
We'll do a British.
Jim Rott, air conditioning. Her husband's retired. She still runs the office. Her son runs the air conditioning company.
Uh-huh.
And she listens every day. She says, the only thing I don't like is when you do that there texting thing, that voice, the redneck guy, you know.
Why is
So,
that?
I don't know. Do you like it? I don't know.
Mm,
Well, some
Not
people
really.
prefer a British accent.
yeah. I
Yeah.
like British ones.
That.
So, it's a jolly good day. I'm live on there having tea time with Rhett. You know, Uncle Rhett. Do you know that Jim Davis, my friend, he has been in radio for 60 years. So he's telling me the other day, you know, that there's a whole new change in vocal delivery. And if you're a voiceover expert, you know, the guy that goes, "You've got mail," or "This is CBS." I remember when I was a kid, that guy made $1 million a year. That's right, $1 million a year for the guy who said, "This is CBS." And now the whole new thing is they're reteaching. They say the millennials want very quick information, but they want it very softly. And they put a candle in front of your lips, and if you blow out the candle or you move the candle flame, that then you are doing it wrong and you have failed. Okay? But when you don't blow out the candle and you talk very quickly like this, that's what the millennials want. They want gentleness.
But you can light a candle and scream at it, and it won't blow out. It depends. The volume has nothing to do with it. It's how much you push. Yeah.
Right.
But you know, you bring up something interesting because when my parents and even my wife and I, when we watch TV, I don't know if it's because they eliminated Steve the boom mics or not. I'm referring to Steve Formay, but
There's
the
a
boom
Attorney
mics. are not-
Fromang is in the house, ladies
But
and
I have
gentlemen.
we have a really hard time hearing what they're saying. It seems muffled and low. You
Yes.
notice that at all, Steve?
Yes.
Who sounds muffled and low?
The actors, like if you're watching TV,
Mhm.
it's not pronunciated and it's not loud enough.
The
What do you-
sound, well, yes, but most of the shows you're talking about, it's garble, inane stuff anyway. You know, I mean, it's banter.
Yeah,
Very rarely do you see any shows that really set up comedy. For instance, Andy and Mayberry the other night. I hadn't seen that in years, and I just laughed and laughed and laughed. It's just good humor. Nothing ribald about it.
Right.
It's just good straight humor,
Yeah.
situation comedy. But nobody does that anymore. They prefer, you know, making snide comment and invective about, you know, the other people on the stage.
Yeah, it's the world has gone to hell.
our kids watch the Dick Van Dyke Show when they watch TV, the Andy Griffith Show,
Hilarious.
Lucille Ball. I mean, that's what they're allowed to watch if they watch TV. We
Yeah,
don't
because it was
Situation comedy. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
soft and low, soft and low. That's the way the world needs to go. Everybody needs to take it slow and start talking soft and low. Well, it's true.
Jim
Like,
Davis was saying this, huh? So about
Yeah.
soft
James Comey
talkers.
talked soft and low.
Yeah.
That was his problem. James Comey,
Yeah.
okay, well,
soft and low.
Mr. B has some comment to make. Yes, Mr. B. Why? Oh, that's right.
Oh.
That's right. It is because that's right. I forgot. We were looking for a replacement, and this is a good story. So I'm looking high, I'm looking low, I'm looking everywhere I go. I can't find an engineer, don't you know? And then if we don't find, don't you know, we ain't gonna be on the radio. So it was the week coming up in the weekend. So I'd called Jim Davis. He's been in radio 60 years. I called this one, I called that one, I called around. We can't find an engineer. So finally, this is a big lesson, spiritual lesson. Listen up, everybody individually. This is Uncle Rhett talking at you, baby. So finally, you get to a place of surrender. The Lord above, he loves, I don't know why, but his personality loves surrender. So I said, I've done all I can do. I surrender it to you. Oh, that even rhymes. I done all I can do. I surrender it to you. But anyway, so I said, okay, I'm just going to trust you. Remember, it says in the Bible, it says, without faith, it's impossible to please God. That means with faith, it's possible to please God. So anyway, I said, I give it up to you. So a couple minutes later, I said, I'm going to call Jim again just to make sure. So I called Jim again. I said, Jim, I really need somebody. I'm not going to be able to go on the air on Monday. He says, ouch. I'm sorry, Rhett. He says, I've looked high and low everywhere I go. I can't find anybody for your radio. Anyway, so that was it. So I hung up the phone. Well, he says, well, I'm actually in a meeting right now. I figured it was a business meeting. And at a competing station over there. And I thought, well, thank you for picking up.
Yeah.
You and I have a covenant.
Right.
You call me. Hey, no, I'm in the middle of a meeting. Okay, Joe. You call. I call you.
Right.
We know that, but we pick up. Nothing
Right.
of this stuff going back 16 million times drives me nuts.
Right.
Okay, so anyway, I call him. He's gentle. He picks up. He says, Red, I haven't been able to find anybody, but I am in a minute. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. Okay, hang up the phone. He must have been, then I found out later on, he wasn't in the business meeting. He was in the ham radio meeting, of which Mr. B is a member. He says, but for some reason, he spits it out and says, by the way, Red Palmer's looking for somebody over there to be an engineer. Mr. B goes, ding, 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 ding. And Mr. B calls on the phone.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. This is the great
That's
thing.
water pipe, connecting water pipe. That's wonderful.
Now, Rhett introduced me to Jim probably a year and a half ago. And we went out to lunch together. And I got to tell you, it is so nice to see. Most people have this attitude of, from a competitor standpoint, they hate a competitor. Rhett spoke nothing but great things about Jim before I met him. And then introduced me to him, and I understood why, because he's a really nice, beautiful, loving man. And then I saw their relationship, and I said, this is really fantastic. And because of that relationship, because of your mutual respect for one another, I mean, you ended up getting Mr. B. And how awesome is that he helped you out in a situation, this
Don't we have a
situation.
jingle that I wrote for you,
It's a
Mr. B?
blessing.
It really is.
Hold on, put on your headset here. Mr. B, I wrote a jingle one day for Mr. B here. What was that jingle, Mr. B? Do you have that handy? Yeah. Mr. B and me or something. Mr. Me and me, we're as happy as can be.
Oh, yeah. It's like the dinosaur song.
Huh? No.
And
You found it? Anyway, so that was a little ditty I wrote.
It's good to see you there, Mr. Fromme.
He's not impressed, obviously. He didn't say anything. Let's move on to the next thing.
So how are you doing? We haven't seen you in forever.
Well, I've been in, as they say, trials. As I told you before, I think the last time we met that I was getting ready to do, our trial weeks were coming up.
Right.
Everybody takes the stuff that could be in October and November, and it could be in December, and they move it to January.
Right.
So the last 90 days of a year is moved to the next.
Is that like a continuance?
Well,
That's
yeah,
for continuance?
Yeah.
So it's not the judge, it's not the docket itself being overbooked. It's the opposing counsel saying, we want to extend.
I don't know. There's times when, you have a deposition you can take now, or you can take it 3 weeks from now. Doesn't matter. But if someone's going on vacation and it's going to mess with them, then you kick it those 3
What's
weeks.
a deposition?
A deposition is a sworn statement where you go in and you raise, well, the police, when they give a deposition, they come in, raise their hand to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. But I never ask them to do that, ever. I just ask them their name and I get started. I've never had a police officer ever have to raise his hand and swear under oath. Ever.
Really? Okay, well, Beverly, has Beverly ever signed a deposition?
Never, no, but I know what it is. I've heard friends who had to sign.
Well, because I understand you have an arresting personality, so I was thinking, you know.
Yes, she does. I've been complimenting her. Haven't I been complimenting you all morning?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Huh?
Okay. Now
And
you
you
haven't.
know-
I can tell by the look. What you're going to say something. I'm sorry.
I want to say that I really look forward to Thursday morning. And Steve hasn't been here in a while, but Joseph has. And you know, there's such love and intelligence. Okay. And here I am.
Notice she's pointing at you two.
But
No, I saw him point
yes,
over
but
there.
that,
Yes,
yes,
she walked like she went like she included you first.
Yes. but Bev, you bubble godlike amity.
Seriously, she's really.
Oh, thank you so much.
We just love your smile and your sweet. I come in, she's. I'm gonna get you a cup of coffee. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Plus, the
It's just
coffee
so-
was
I mean, just-
excellent.
And she hugs and I just love. You're a welcomed addition to the team.
You sure
You
are.
really are.
Thank you.
Rhett loves you. He
But
thinks the world
thanks
of you,
to
but so
Rhett.
do we.
Rhett believed in me,
Yep.
and I didn't say too much, but you just sense that I would love to be here, and this has been a joy.
We don't even know how it all went down. She came in here with a book, and this is an advice to anybody out there listening: write your book.
Yes.
Because Rick Frischman from Planned Television Arts, who's booked a lot of famous people on my show from New York City, he's now sold it out, but he's still consulting people on the side and having fun because he couldn't stay home and be bored in South Florida now. But he said, Rhett, when you write your book, remember, spend 50% of your time writing your book with the other 50% coming up with the cover and the title, because books don't sell covers, covers and titles sell
Yes.
books. Okay.
Yes.
But he said, listen, 98% of the books don't make any money. You don't write a book to make money. It opens doors. If she hadn't written the one and only book of your life, which is the story of your life of losing your husband young and how you ended up living on a water boat, what do you call it?
Houseboat.
Houseboat,
Mhm.
and then all the ups and downs of Stowe, Vermont. Anyway, and it's good tell. And you I don't know, did you hire a professional writer to help you with that?
He's a friend.
A friend. Well, it's very well written, and everybody reads it, likes it. Well, anyway, she came in here to be on the show. So anyway, we're sitting there yesterday having brunch with a famous journalist, professor of journalism. He's been on the show. He's now headed up north Connecticut for the summer. We might be talking to him on the phone sometimes. But anyway, and Professor Paul. But we're sitting there, and I realized, you wouldn't know Professor Paul or me, and I wouldn't know you. I wouldn't know Stowe, Vermont, if you hadn't taken the guts to write the book. Because a brochure, people will throw out.
Yep.
A book. I write a book, I hand it to you, even if you
Yeah.
don't really want it. Rhett's very boring story of his life. Here it is. And he hand it to you. You go, oh, you bring it home, you say, hi, honey, this is Rhett's book. Okay, we'll put it there. Maybe one of the kids will pick it up. Yeah, I don't want to read it. All right. So then you move it from there into one of the kids' bedroom. Then it moves back out to the living room. They say, hey, this has been hanging around for 9 months. Move it out into the garage. Put it in the garage. We don't want to throw it out. Then it goes in the garage and ends up going to the Salvation Army for sale in their little store. And, the people won't throw out a book, and it opens doors.
It really
Oh, you wrote a book on fly fishing. Well, Uncle Bill's got a club out there in Missouri. They'd like to fly you out. Next thing you go out to Missouri, you go there and you find out that there's some famous politicians there, and you read about your book, and then they become friends, and then they fly here and be on your show. I mean, one thing leads to another.
Yeah, that's really true.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I met you, well, years after, you said the same thing. You got to write a book. It opens up doors.
Yeah, I've written 3, but I haven't gotten any published. See, listen to the poet's tale.
And my publishers, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so I filed a complaint against my publishers years back,
Mhm.
because my royalty checks were just
So-
diminishing.
Yeah.
And I knew there was no way that I was getting these size checks when I should have gotten the much larger checks. Well, anyway, long story short, I contacted the CEO.
Yeah.
I worked my way up to the CEO, and I said, hey, look, Ryan, I'm having a problem. His name's Ryan Tate. I said, I'm having a problem with my checks, and I know these checks are fabricated. I want to see the finances behind this to know. I want to audit the records to see what's going on. How many are you shipping? Are you getting returns? Yada, yada, yada. Because what I did is I sent out
Was he
emails.
agreeable?
Yeah, he was actually, and then nothing happened. So I called him back and I said, "Look, either you're a part of this scam or you're not. If you don't address this and have this rectified now, then it tells me you're a part of this." Well, anyway, FBI and everybody just raided his building, handcuffed
What?
him, his father, for 800 authors. He defrauded.
Ugh.
How did you defraud him?
Well, so what happened is all the books that they sold, that they promoted, I hired a publicist. We were selling books. We were bestsellers list and everything else. After doing all of that, he just kept the money and issued very little money back. And then stated, "Oh, we had more returns than we did in sales," or to
So
offset.
he was a part of it.
And so I guess everyone's
Are
innocent.
you the one that
until proven guilty.
alerted the FBI?
I don't. It had to be more than just me.
Yeah.
I contacted the Attorney General's office in Oklahoma where they were looking. But you know what?
Right.
They were a quote unquote Christian company, and I told him. I said every time, I always have these reservations when someone blares, "I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian."
Look at that girl that came in here last year, that little
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
she came in here and Jesus this, Jesus that,
Yeah.
Jesus this, Jesus
Got to
that.
be very
And she
careful.
ripped me off for
Well,
$4,000.
you know what they say, guys? People walking up to you, singing glory,
Right.
hallelujah,
Right.
but they'll sock it to you
You know what the
in
same
the
thing is?
name of the Lord.
Okay, then, hey,
Fine, man. The
yeah, that's a
song.
good
Yes,
song.
seriously.
What's that song? And the sucker to you in
Yeah,
the name
gay
of
people
the
play now every night, every day now.
Finish
See if
what
we can
you
find that song. That
Never meaning what they say, never saying what they mean.
He's quoting that song word for
Of course
word.
I am.
He's quoting that song.
Yeah, but he knows most of the young people listening don't know that.
Oh,
I
please.
know that, and I caught you. You have been caught, sir.
No,
I
it's
tell you
called
what.
it's called shake disposition of thought beyond the reaches of soul.
Now, may I say this on behalf of followers of the Lord, though? When I first had, you're going to have to wait with bated breath because they're telling us we have to take a break. Now, I want to tell you that today's broadcast is brought to you by Mercedes of Fort Pierce, and that's Coggin Osteen. Am I saying it right? Is it Coggin or Coggin?
I
Who
say
knows?
Coggin.
Coggin. I say Coggin. You say Coggin. Anyway, got my new GLE SUV, and I tell you what, it rides in harmony with the street, you see. Riding down in such luxury. Get your GLE from Coggin Osteen.
Oh yeah, they're the
Okay,
best.
we're going to take a break. Coggin Osteen. Coggin what?
You remember you're on Facebook.
I know. It's okay. Coggin what? My mind's gone.
I said Osteen.
It's not Osteen, is it? Coggin?
I just know of it as Coggin.
Coggin. Coggin Motors.
I marked that down, but you gotta cut those MP4s for me and send them to me, like I asked you for them.
You're in trouble. Here.
I'm
Okay.
glad you're staying after me, sweetheart.
You're right.
That's very good.
You're right.
You know,
Because then I can put them in the system.
that's right.
Okay.
That's right. Well, where are the shirts that I got the other day?
They're
Some
on-
of those are for me. Is that
they're on
the
the table.
extra large? That's mine.
This is 2X.
Okay, I'm not sure. Don't put any more on. Some of those are mine. They may
Okay.
be the 2X's.
Okay.
The ones that I have 3 buttons.
This has 3 buttons.
So you're wearing my shirt. That's a little big on you.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's getting skinny too.
I am.
You're losing weight.
Because I
Looking
had
good.
3 extractions. I couldn't eat
Yeah, I
all week.
wondered yesterday why you didn't give me my shirts.
They're on the table.
They were there.
They were
What do you
there.
think of that green? I think that green's supposed to be my green.
Okay, I'll wash it and give it back to you.
Yeah,
There's
that's
I think
what
you should. I think you should have pink.
Pink
Pink is a great
there's a
color.
big
There's a
one in
pink one in there.
Pink is
See
a
what
gr-
color it is.
Huh?
I mean, see what size it is.
Okay.
Pink is a great color on you. It really is. So is light blue.
You can get away with it when you're older for some reason.
I wore pink when I was in high school.
Well, did they call you a pinko?
A pinko. A flamingo.
You know, the doctor I dated, I told you about him. Once a week, he went to the tanning bed
Well, hold on.
because he had gray hair and he wanted to look healthy. He finally died. But
He sounds like he's reading
who was that?
Ron's ad.
You know, did
He
you want me to do mine over?
Which one? For CJ Cannons?
I did Don's import sales.
I thought that sounded good.
Okay, and then we have something new. You are
There's
listening
only a
to
white
Mayor
XL, and I don't know if I can fit in that. But
What?
Mayor.
There's a white XL. This is 2X,
Yeah, this is
Oh,
mine.
that's beautiful.
and then this is
I'll be
That's
good.
mine. That's my shirt that I already owned.
Okay.
Well, what else is there? They had eight shirts.
A white XL, and a red, and there's 2 more in there.
Oh, bring them all to me.
Okay.
Yeah. When you pick up something, you're supposed to deliver it to me. Yes, that shirt's too big. That green shirt's too big for you. It's my shirt. Come in here wearing my new green shirt.
Can't get anything by you.
Yeah, so they handcuffed him. They're thinking, I think, 30 years in prison
Who's this?
What?
for the
Wait.
owner.
For holding the residuals of books? Come on.
Well, I mean, he figured it's probably, what they say, $25 million they owe out that they stole.
Could be.
Oh,
Certainly, they'd have to have a substantial theft in order to merit. And since it was FBI, that means they were committing wire fraud. Must have been 800 counts of wire fraud.
Yeah, I think there was cases of, yeah, you're right. And then the AG's office went in
Oh,
for
too loud.
something, I don't remember. But
Well, the sentencing, federal sentencing.
Extortion?
Okay, from now on, if you're going to pick music, who is this? Frank Sinatra?
Well, I don't know about extortion, but definitely wire fraud.
Yeah. No, but
what
you
would
got to listen to me.
constitute
This is the rule.
extortion in
It
that
has
case?
to be in the
Wouldn't be
mornings.
extortion,
We
but
need it
you
to
would
have a
have
beat and be uplifting. This is nice,
Like a RICO
but really,
statute?
this will
Well,
put
you
people to
have
sleep
to
in the.
hate
I could be wrong though. Hear this
I-
music? I think that's too soft in the morning to put people back to sleep.
Oh god, it's boring.
Yeah, boring. That's what Joe said. That's what I think. It's gotta have something.
That feels like a
Well,
Christmas
why don't you
song.
have your own song, Rhett?
Okay, I gotta use instrumentals because I can't use.
Vivaldi, Spring for the Four Seasons, first movement Allegro. That'd be the perfect one. Start your day.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, but
well,
I
from now
like-
on, we're going to do Vivaldi. When we
Spring
get done with the
Four
show
Seasons.
today, write them down. I want to bring all classical music, but up, dum, 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 dum,
Vivaldi. Yeah, Vivaldi's the
Papa
best.
Bell,
I
whatever.
proposed to my wife with Vivaldi.
Do you want to produce this, Joseph?
No, thank you, baby. I'll leave it up to you. You got the magic.
He's right. That's sleepy music. He's been a little testy.
Why don't you write your own
He's a
ditty?
little bit testy. Who can tackle us too? Better watch out, he'll take a bite out of you. Well, his little cantankerous.
Hey, listen,
Little
cantankerous.
testy.
Write your own song, Rhett. You're a fund of imagination. Plus, you're pretty good picking there.
Hey, you were going to tell us about what you heard, or what you were going to say about. We were talking about, because I did not want to imply that Christians are bad people, because I am a Christian. I'm saying those who, that preach the Bible constantly. Sometimes you have to get your guard up and get ready because they're doing a defense. They're trying to sugarcoat or protect themselves before they steal from you. You said you had a story about that.
There's many stories about that.
I got so many
Myra
stories.
Breckenridge.
So
I
in
always
my
think
head.
about Myra Breckenridge.
I can't remember what I did. Have to say.
Burt Lancaster played the part of Myra Breckenridge, and what he is, he's basically a guy that was full of brushman kind of guy. And one day he's walking along and he hears a preacher really losing it. Small crowd, but the preacher just can't do it. And Breckenridge jumps up there and boom, starts grabs a mic and starts talking. And the whole movie's about
Talk a
him.
little softly, okay? I got so many stories in my head. I can't remember what I have or what I haven't said.
I like it. But I was thinking, see, Mayor of the Airwaves could have his own moniker, his own banner, his own jingle. I mean, grand song that people. I like Rhett Palmer. I like the song. Your introduction,
Yeah.
Mayor. That's a nice one. Ready to
My
go.
kids sing it.
Yes, but that is
Yeah.
a wonderful introduction.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're trying to.
That left an impression when you have little kids
Yeah.
walking around the house singing.
Yeah, they got a good idea. Playing the jingle on the way out. Play the jingle on the way out. Hey, that's my other new shirt. My other new shirt. You took my other new shirt.
Hey,
Look at that,
wash
man.
day, nothing clean.
You were listening.
Hey, I met your son, Grave.
Oh, did you?
Oh, he's awesome.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, I wanted to be with him to work with him with his business because I love the idea.
Oh, yeah. Treasure Coast Telecare.
Oh, I used it. So
Oh.
I met him, and then 3 days later I called him up because I wanted to get the whole experience.
Yeah, sure.
And I said, man, because I told him even before that, I said, I'm behind this business idea. I love it. And very rarely do I get excited about a business idea. And I heard of this, and I went, "Oh my gosh!" He explained it to me. I said, "Let's get together. We'll grab some coffee, and I wanna work something out."
Yeah.
And we've talked once or twice over the phone, but I wanted to try it out and see how it went, and it was fantastic.
You liked it. Good.
Loved it. And then I called, and he answered the phone. He just got back from the emergency room, working in the emergency room, and he's going to work with his partner and get a time so we could meet, so I can help him out. Yeah.
I'm surprised they fit.
You know, ER medicine.
Now, what's that one you have on there?
This is
Such
the one
a
you gave
challenge
me.
nowadays.
Okay.
I think that's
The fund of knowledge that you
I don't
must
have
have
glasses
at your
on, hold on.
disposal. But
These aren't.
that cell
He
phone
keeps giving
thing,
me these glasses.
imagine
They were on your-
they have it
They were on your-
hyperspace
somebody's
nowadays.
prescription.
They really
They
do.
were
To
on your
where
table.
when you
Let's see.
walk in, if you're walking in like this and drooling, obviously
It should
you
be
got
2X.
stroke
Double X,
cooking somewhere.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of maladies that you can be suffering.
But they were
The
right.
subtle-
What they just said.
The
Coming
subtle
back after the end, you got space. Play the
manifestation
jingle.
or the manifestation of it is so subtle that it takes not only an eye,
It's a
but
great
a
idea.
trained eye and the touch to know. My
You
dad
noticed-
could, he
you
was
noticed
a
that there was
physician
no-
for many years. I had
No what?
people later
There was
come
no
up to me and
pictures of
say,
you
Stephen,
from that ARC thing.
your dad could just touch me
32963 is
and I
only
would
Beverly.
feel energy coming.
What
through.
art thing?
Wow.
And he was that way. And Graves has that. It's called the healing touch.
Well,
My
here's
brother David has it.
Here's
The art thing that we
the
went
interesting
to
thing that I learned.
a couple
Exactly what
weeks
you're saying
ago
about
in the
technology.
garden.
Oh.
From January to now, the end of April, 250,000
you're in the
medical
open. Stand by in the
journals
studio.
studying
Okay,
heaven conditions.
quiet on the set.
Fire in the set. Places, everybody.
That's right. Take over. Have a little authoritarianism here.
I always told you he's the boss.
Researchers at Vanderbilt University have developed a robot that does colonoscopies. Remember when experts predicted robots will eventually take over our brains? Well, it turns out the robots are starting at the other end.
First class, I
You know,
say.
speaking of that, about when you said about Vanderbilt,
Yeah.
Stephen Fromay and Beverly Osler and I were just talking on break about, there's 250,000 medical studies done a year talking about advancements in technology from
Yes.
January to April, the end of April of this year. 250,000 medical studies have been done. How now your son's, your whole family, you have doctors all
yes.
throughout. How do you access that as a physician to get that data at your fingertips? And now they said artificial intelligence.
Yes.
You're going to be able to spit out data.
Yes.
You type in symptoms, AI will analyze everything and say, here you go, this is the problem, and this is the solution. Because how could you imagine us trying to sit there in 5 months and read 250,000 page,
No,
250,000 studies alone?
You don't have to do it. Alexa does it.
Yeah.
Then you turn and say, Alexa,
Yeah.
I'm turning blue. What do you think? Get
Yeah.
your doctor. Get your doctor. Wow, Alexa,
Yeah.
thanks for that one.
Well, could you imagine? Because I called your son on because he's
Treasure Coast Telecare.
yeah, because I
Yeah.
called him there because now you don't have to go see a physical doctor.
No,
I
you
just
just
called
do it over the telephone.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
did it on the laptop. He popped up. We saw
Oh,
each
yeah.
other. He examined my face on the laptop, and because my eye was irritated, and I just want to check the services out. I paid for it and everything. Put a credit card in. Done.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It worked out really,
Oh, it's
really
incredible.
great. Yeah.
He had one lady that had a sick child, but because of her job constraints, her child was going to be miserable all day. Boom, Treasure Coast Telecare. Bam,
Yeah.
done.
It was easy to use.
Really?
Yeah. We said from now on, that's what we're going to do.
Oh,
'cause
thank you,
it-
Joe.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, I have 6 kids, and my
Oh.
mom and my dad. So I mean,
I'm
there's
from a family of
10
8 children.
customers. Yeah,
8
10
children.
customers right there. But yeah, I was really impressed with that. But
Thank
imagine
you.
now he'll plug into AI and then have answers within seconds
It's
for
incredible.
anybody. Yeah.
It is. Okay, now cookie contest. Nabisco has a contest. You could win $500,000. $500,000, folks, if you suggest a new Oreo flavor that they picked. They've already turned down Beverly's suggestion of kale. Kale Oreo cookies.
Kale?
Yeah.
A
Now,
bitter
now
twist.
Joseph, you produce 12 million cookies a year.
Yeah,
I mean a day.
a day.
Come on.
Yes, he does.
12 million.
Yes.
Is that an exaggeration?
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
You
Go
should
on
come out to
video
the
and
factory
watch it.
run.
No one's ever invited me
Yeah,
because for tax reasons you don't go.
I won't go to New Mexico.
No, well,
I
well,
won't go to Mexico.
New Mexico.
Do you
New
know
Mexico.
that New Mexico, when Obamacare came out, this is what they call factoid.
Yeah.
When New Mexico
And now for another
heard about
factoid.
the so-called Obamacare,
Yeah.
they increased their Medicaid population, that pool of people getting Medicaid, 71%.
Yeah. See, this is one of the things that people don't understand that Donald Trump is addressing on a federal level. This is a state issue that I'm about to bring up. But when you're in business, and most business people I've spoken to have no idea about this specific rule. When you travel to states, there are states that I've told my sales team we will never step foot in. And states like New York, California, Michigan.
yeah.
Why is that? And New Mexico's one as well. When you step foot in a state, they look for nexus to tax you for income taxes. So when you go to California, we used to do food shows decades and decades ago in California. And then their tax and revenue department started sending out letters to the CEOs and to the salespeople saying, fill out, did you stay more than 3 nights? Did you conduct business in the state of California? And if the answer was yes to those, you paid personal income taxes to the state. And so it was ridiculous.
All right, so on this date, 1904, painter Salvador Dali was born. Anybody been over to his museum over in St.
Petersburg.
Yeah, it is lovely. I mean, he just last time when the docent, is that what you call him, the docent?
Yeah, the docent, they walked
She was
around.
taking us around. We had a large crowd, and when they revealed and the cross of Jesus Christ, the three-dimensional cross, showed that Salvador Dali back in the 40s and 50s was way ahead of his time. It is made with dots. Well, if you put on a pair of glasses, a certain glass, you see the dots, and the dots form the absolute perfect face of Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Tears are rolling down my eyes when I realized this man was such a genius. Go to the Salvador. But anyway, on this date, in 1904, Salvador Dali was born. He was famous for his paintings of people with 3 eyes, 5 ears, 2 noses. Let's all be glad he was a painter and not a plastic surgeon. If you need a good plastic surgeon in town, by the way, today's broadcast brought to you in part by Alan Durkin, Oceanside Plastic Surgery. And his wife was in here, of course, with the, I think it was the 1000 group. I forget which group. No, the Buggy Bunch. I think she was in here with that. Well, whatever. She was in here. She's a lovely person. Roxanne.
Whatever.
Roxanne. And she's a lovely lady. Anyway, but Alan Durkin, Oceanside Plastic Surgery.
Is he new in town? Dr.
I wonder how new he is. He's a new sponsor of our broadcast.
The reason
But
why
I'm
I
not
say it is
sure.
because I've heard,
You come
I'm
in
trying
here
to think
a
of
couple
where
few
I've heard,
years.
no, but there was somebody talking about some incredible plastic surgeon in town, and I think that's the person they were talking about
Yeah.
because the name was unusual.
They say he's good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I haven't had my most recent surgery yet.
Oh,
You know,
golly, Rhett, and I was admiring your chin. I said,
my
my God.
my double chin.
Triple, I thought.
You know who was on my
I lost
show?
count.
I thought you added a chin.
I lost count.
Did you see that? Did you see that full page ad in Vero's Voice magazine of my radio show? We hadn't done one in a while, so the past couple months.
Oh,
And if you'll notice, they have all these celebrities. Like I'm with George W. Bush. I'm with this one and that one, Mahatma Gandhi's
Yeah.
grandson. I'm with Billy Graham. Anyway, if you'll notice that about it's either 3 or 4 of the people on the page are dead.
wow.
It kind of reminds me. It's
Posthumous.
well, yeah, it's like the Rolling Stones going off on their new tour. You know, they're going to name their new tour the No Filter Tour. I thought
They
maybe
should.
I thought maybe they should name it Get Off My Lawn Tour. Hey, hey, you get off of my lawn.
I was on the
Hey,
99
hey,
tour.
you get off of my lawn.
That's right.
I don't want you hanging around here no more. Actually, it's a famous song if you're younger.
Yeah.
It's called Hey, hey, you get off my cloud.
Yeah.
And how about the Pull My Finger Tour? No, it's not.
No,
Okay,
99
how about
floor.
Wait for the Metamucil to Kickoff Tour?
Okay, colon blow. 4 tons of colon blow.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
Bill Clinton has teamed up with best-selling author James Patterson
Yeah.
to write a novel. You already knew about this? There's something
Well,
you don't
hey,
know.
come
I know
on.
what it is. You know, this guy right here, the CEO of Joseph's Cookies,
Yeah.
Light Cookies. You know that he is just like Trump, because Trump only needs 2 or 3 hours of sleep a night. Joseph, I can get up and I never get in trouble. If I wake up and I can't sleep or something, or I'm going to bed late, it could be 1:30. I call, oh, hi, Rhett, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. The kids are asleep, my wife's asleep, but I'm up. I mean, how many hours do you require a night, honestly?
A couple hours. I mean, unless I'm really sleepy. If I'm really sleepy,
Right.
I'll sleep. I don't ignore my body.
Okay, so let's say a couple hours. So how many do you save? So let's say you save 6 hours a night.
Yeah.
5 hours?
Oh God, no. So for example, I'll go to bed at 3 o'clock, get up at 5,
Okay,
5:30.
so 2 from 8 is 6.
2
Okay,
from 8.
But
is
let's
6,
just
right?
push it. Let's make it 5. Let's say you save 5 hours a night. So every 10 nights, that's 50 hours. So there's a 10, that's 50, that's 150 hours of more living that Joseph has every month.
Right.
Am I correct?
Yeah, 1,800.
So that's
Go
150.
fishing, I say.
Okay. So do you realize the incredible amount of quality time that is? I don't know about you all, but I love late at night.
Yeah,
And
me too.
it's very dangerous when you have an early morning show to love late at night.
Yes, Rhett. Yes,
Because
Rhett.
you can get worn out
Yeah.
mighty quick. But
Yes,
it's the
Rhett.
time I find peace and quiet. I can just doodle on my Facebook page or on my iPhone. I can read a book. I can watch movies. I
Compose.
love Netflix now. Compose songs,
Compose. I
absolutely.
mean, because you're quite a composer,
You know,
Rhett.
I have
And you're undisturbed, and you know
Oh,
the amount
yeah.
of time that what you can complete in 1 hour in the
Yes.
middle of the night
Yes.
it takes a normal person 2 to 3 hours in
Yes,
the daytime.
because of interruption.
Yeah, the interruptions. Like for me in the day, I have interrupted so many times.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
so
and
in
when
the
you
middle of
do interrupt yourself, you don't have to apologize and say, "Excuse me."
I
Well,
have full
you might.
conversations
You know,
with
like-
myself, and nothing gets done.
You know, that's called alone time, and I
Mhm.
think we all need that.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't have to apologize. You
Right,
know,
quite
They
naturally.
weren't listening, folks. I'm trying to make the sound of
Humor. It's humor, Rhett.
But
I'm trying
anyway,
to
you
make
were
the
saying
sound of
about
humor.
about
Humor,
Clinton and Patterson writing a book together. Yeah.
I just want to say this about that. Yes, Bill Patterson and I have gotten together to write a book.
James.
James Patterson, excuse me there. We'll get that straight. And Hillary, well, I thought I was going to be back in the White House, but I can tell you that I was going to give myself another one of those little girls there, that I had before there. Got my cigars all ready and everything. Now I'm not going to be in the White House. I don't think it's going to happen again. Although she's talking about, I just want to say she's going to run again,
Yes.
She sure is a poor loser. I got to
Yes.
say that, So I tell you, honey, you can't do this. You're looking like a fool.
Michelle Obama
She should have worn a blue
or
dress.
Elizabeth Warren will be the next two candidates to
Yeah,
run in 4 years.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren, definitely Papoose will be one of them. Really.
Yeah.
She got a job by saying she was an American
Yeah,
Indian.
right.
And when they said, well, let's see your paperwork, she said, she pointed to her high cheekbones and said, this demonstrates.
Now, if that was a Republican, they would have been ousted out of
Ousted,
office.
gone.
Remember the variety shows? That's what this is. It's a variety show.
A variety show, yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But the bird ain't falling down
It was like
with the
Seinfeld.
cigar.
It was a show about nothing.
I'll stop it.
All right.
So that was the whole premise of Seinfeld. It was a show about nothing.
Oh,
And look at where
Yeah.
it became. I
Yeah.
love that show.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and his residuals are $1 billion every 4 years.
He's the seventh highest paid.
Performer in the history of man. But
Yeah.
you know what? I went to see him thrice twice for a professional thing, and then a thing with where I was with a group of professionals. We all were, and we were talking about the dark side of humor. And we met in a little high school auditorium up in Nantucket, and I will tell you this about Jerry is that he never uses foul language.
Yeah, you don't need to.
It's not necessary if you have true intellect.
Yeah.
It's true.
And the reason is we have not recognized this. And if I ever become world famous, I'm going to make sure that this is, because I'm not a comedian, but I'm going to make sure they get recognized. Comedians are artists, and they're very
Yeah.
important to the health of our society.
So true.
They see stuff that we don't normally see. And Beverly taught me a great lesson. What is humor?
Comedy is really tragedy plus time.
Isn't that wise?
Yes.
Comedy is tragedy plus time. It helps us to laugh. Look at the greatest men in history have held self-deprecating humor. Who was I with recently? I was with some president of the United States. I forget who I was with. Somebody really big shot, and I said, "Do you agree with me that a sense of humor is a telltale sign of a greater intellect?" And they said, "Absolutely."
Oh yeah.
And even if you're not that smart and you're just a regular person like me, well, I'll tell you what, you listen to the comedians and they can show you stuff. Like an artist will frame something. Like I remember I'll tell the story about getting out of CJ Cannon's with our little Bixby, our little local photographer.
Yeah.
Now he gets out of my car. We're going to go after we shoot some shots of some famous people who are in here. We go after the show. We go out there to have breakfast. So he pops out of the car and I'm going, "What are you doing, Bixby?" And he's looking up at this tree. And there's this orchid, this lovely purple and white orchid growing out, a few feet above. Like I'm 6 foot, so maybe I'm 6'3", so maybe 20, 25 feet up. And I've gone to CJ Cannon's a million gazillion times. But he is the artist, recognizing he's holding up his camera and taking a shot of this thing growing in the, what do you call it, the weaving of the branches and the trunk of the tree. Anyway, but he's an artist, so they frame stuff, they show us stuff we would normally miss. Same thing with comedians. I mean, look at George Carlin. Why do we park in the driveway and drive on the parkway? I know that sounds silly, but
No.
it's true. Why do we park in the driveway and drive in the parkway? I mean, I know that's stupid, but how about the thing he does about stuff? Everybody's laughed at that, right? I got my stuff. I travel. I got to have a certain amount of my stuff. So when I get there, I can take some of my stuff out of my luggage and put it on the car. Now I feel comfortable now because I got enough of my stuff here. This is where I was spending the night. And you know that you were a world traveler before you got married.
Yeah. Robin Williams was also that kind of
Oh man!
right. I mean,
Genius.
come on.
Wow, I used to
I
love
mean,
it.
Jumanji. I mean,
Yeah.
when he comes, when he turns to the camera and says, "Van Pelt," and gets up and runs, everybody said, "Who? What? What's going on?"
Yeah.
What was it? What is that?
Van Pelt's the hunter, right? The hunter that trying to shoot him all the time. Jumanji, man,
Jumanji.
get the game. You'll enjoy it.
Now, I want to ask you this: the way that Hemingway died did not make me not want to read Hemingway. But the way, I have to say this, and I wonder if anybody else feels that way.
True.
Robin Williams,
True.
it has made me, I just don't want to watch his movies anymore. It's like he punctuated his whole life by going out that way. And this is the guy that we put our hope and trust in with our hearts.
Well,
Talk about bringing happy. How ironic is that?
yeah,
A man who
but-
delivered happiness was full of
right,
sadness.
but y'all,
Yeah,
Y'all, that's such a
Seinfeld
tragedy.
said that, and this group of other famous
Right.
guys, like the guy with the martini. There's that other little Indian guy now who's hilarious, and we were all met at this high school auditorium up in Nantucket. We were all talking about the dark side of humor, and most of them have that. You can't see it if you don't. A lot of great art comes out of tragedy. A
Well,
lot
if,
of
Yeah.
poetry.
if
Yeah.
you think about it, though, I mean, you look at actors and actresses and performers in general. Their one thing, I think, the common denominator with all of them is low self-esteem or low confidence, because there's so much uncertainty in their life.
yeah,
I mean, you're as good as your last show. You're as good as your last song.
You bet.
You're as good, and then that way, if that's the lowest, if that's the common denominator, then that's why you see a lot of self-medication because they're insecure.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Jimi Hendrix
Oh,
one time turned
Genius.
to somebody and said, "What do I do for an encore?"
No, I'm gonna tell you
Hopkins are
something.
being on.
Go out to Seattle. I went to Seattle, Washington to visit our mutual friend, Debbie Maycomber, New York Times bestselling author. And we're out there and we took a tour of the Jimi Hendrix Museum.
Oh.
Now, you think, oh, he just he's one of a million young black
No, you
men.
what?
Let me just finish. He's one of a million young black men who play guitar. He just happened to be the one that was recognized. You know, okay, he played with his teeth. But I tell you what, you read here, they have pages of his diary. I have a diary open there in the museum. You read the way this guy wrote. It's like you go, wow, there must be a God who handpicks the people. This guy had depth.
You bet.
He had depth. I mean, the stuff he wrote about,
Hey,
no,
two riders were approaching, and the wind.
no.
began to
Dylan
howl.
wrote that. Dylan wrote that.
Yeah,
he
but
he
Hendrix sang it though.
Oh.
Man.
And didn't they just find some Hendrix music? Now they're trying. They discovered it in a garage.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to say it was Jimi Hendrix. They about 3 weeks ago they discovered reels of music, and it was in the garage, and they're trying to restore it.
Very hard.
Yeah, a song's never been heard. Yeah,
What a
Wow.
treasure.
yeah.
What's the name of that song that Dylan did? What's the name of it?
Alone on the Watchtower.
Okay, hold on. Find the lyrics. Find
You doing out?
lyrics. 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 What is she doing?
Must be
Lyrics
Galaxy.
to All Along the Watchtower.
Right.
Lyrics to All Along the Watchtower.
Spreading confusion.
They
on
have
the
not.
ground.
know what you mean by lyrics to all.
Find the lyrics to Bob Dylan's song All Along the Watchtower.
She's sleeping.
Looking for Bob Dylan along the Watchtower.
Hello.
Hello. What's that?
By the way, grammatically, it should be like I, not like me.
She's just useless. They have not perfected this thing.
I
There's
know
a guy
that,
in
but it must
town
be
here.
a galaxy.
I'm not allowed to tell anybody, but the guy in town
No,
here
don't.
created Siri, and I'm not going to say who it was.
Don't.
But anyway, he's made millions of dollars. But you didn't do it so good. You got to perfect it. Because you got the mayor of the airways angered this morning. The Siri isn't delivering. There must be some way out of here,
Yeah.
said the Joker to the thief. I can't get no satisfaction, can't get no relief. Businessmen that drink my wine, climb and dig the earth. None of them along the line know what any of it is worth.
Yeah, went down the
I
alleyway.
think Mark Twain had
What?
it perfectly when he referred to humor as tragedy plus time, because I think that
Yes.
he was another man way ahead of his
Oh, yeah.
way ahead of his
Yeah.
time.
He absolutely was. I like that his greatest quote to me was, whenever I get the desire to exercise, I sit down, I wait till it passes.
There you are.
Yes.
You freaking piece of crap!
God, ask Alexa.
Hey
if you're
Siri,
right.
you suck. You're terrible at what you do. Tell the people at Apple to get it together and make you better on the iPhone 8, because I ain't buying one until they have rebooted you.
You see? Mad as the sea and wind when both contend, which the mightier.
After all I've done for you.
See what you said after all I've done for you.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what's scary about all those devices?
Yeah.
I noticed my Alexa turns on randomly and listens to the room.
Another
But did you hear that guy that
iPhone
killed somebody
It is, Mr.
or
B.
got in a fight? Got in a fight
Hey,
in his
hundreds
home,
of
and he
dollars.
said he was attacked and
It
he was
doesn't work.
defending himself.
I'll
2
take a
months
Samsung.
prior, when that
That's
happened, the police went to Amazon and got the database of all of the recordings done in his home, 24 hours
No.
a day, until they found
You don't
out
have to go yet.
if he was attacked or not.
Really?
It says Siri, Alexa, listen to you 24 hours a day until
Okay.
you
Right
have-
now, go online
Mhm.
and search out, you want a cassette music player. Right on. Now, when you go on Facebook for the next month,
Find cassette music player.
wherever you go, whether you're sending emails, whatever, you will get advertisements for cassette. I had it
Amazon
recently.
too.
Barbara got on my phone and was looking for a jacket to go up to
Yeah.
Washington
It's a
D.C. the other.
cookie. Yeah.
A cookie, and then now I'm getting all these ads for
Yeah.
for magazine.
That's
for,
part of artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about artificial intelligence, in the sense
Yeah, but
that
the people that know how to manipulate it
Yes.
So
So what?
listen,
Yeah,
he told me yesterday.
Coffee, do you need more?
Excuse me.
Yes.
He told me yesterday, and this is what I don't like, is why, all my life, I've been here working for 23 years. While you guys were in diapers, I had my butt in here,
Yeah.
and I've been working my ass
Actually,
off.
I was in the.
Now, if
I was in the
excuse
kitchen.
me, this is about me for now. If I had jumped right into this stuff when it came out, the internet and everything else. Look at, he just told me yesterday, there's two kooks dress up in these outfits with fake swords. There's a girl who plays violin on YouTube. She got a check for $30 million. No, $12 million last year. She has 36 million to 46 million viewers every year.
Yeah, you get paid.
Who are those guys you were telling me about yesterday? The ones with the saber sword.
Oh yeah, the Tolly, Tollywood is what it's called. Not Bollywood, Tollywood. And these guys, two Indians, got got
They're Star
digital.
Wars.
Yeah, but it was Indians, and they don't talk English; they talk Hindi.
Yeah.
And you can Google it and listen to them.
No, they said it's India's new Star Wars.
Bingo.
Yeah, right.
But it's done haphazardly. So it's
Yeah,
amateur.
but
individuals. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a bunch of guys.
Just like this could happen here. I know this could happen. Everybody
Well,
said
it's off. You're not on.
I own. It's on. That goes dark. It's still on.
It's still.
Okay. You want to
It's
see?
still.
Want me to prove it to you?
He gets angry.
Okay. It's on.
You get
See?
red.
See, it's on.
I
When
didn't
that's
know
being-
that.
It goes to sleep, but you're still on.
Oh,
So behave yourself,
look.
sir. Now, what was I talking about?
You were
before I
talking
so
about
rudely
going. You were
interrupted?
talking about going viral. And
Okay, so here's the thing. How does that happen? Because I'll tell you right now, like everybody was saying, oh, you can't go national. You're too much. Can I please,
Yeah,
without
can I-
any interruption,
Can I please have some
make
more?
a statement? My God. My God.
We're
it's
giving you a
difficult.
dose of your own medicine when we're live.
So anyway, here was my thought.
Yes.
So everybody was saying, that's better, but not great.
Well, then bring in some music for me, but I have to have something upbeat and instrumental.
Okay, then play Rhett Palmer and find the music-only versions of my songs on my patriotic record. They're in there. Find them. Also, when I go away, I want you to find Beverly's interview I did. It was about a year ago when she came out with that book. We sat in here for an hour and I did 4 segments with her. You hear me, Mr. B? It was fabulous. I know when I've done a good job. It was fabulous.
Yeah.
And I want that replayed. We got to go back into the archives and find those. By the way,